Hello guys, hope all of you are well in this difficult situation. Welcome to my lecture series. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Rinki Bhaumik, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, JIS College of Engineering. Today's lecture is for first year. For first year, the paper name is Physics 1 and the paper code is EH101. The name of the paper is Physics 1 and 3 credits. There will be 3 lectures per week. Total 36 number of lectures will be there for all of you. This is for BTech first year as I said. Now let me show you your syllabus. This is your syllabus. First, this is module 1. In module 1, there is waves and oscillation. In module 2, there is classical optics where we have to discuss about interference of light and diffraction of light. In module 3, there is quantum mechanics 1 where we'll discuss about quantum theory and quantum mechanics. In module 4, there is solid state physics 1 where we'll discuss about crystal structure and semiconductors. And in the last module, that is module 5, we'll discuss about modern optics where there is laser and fiber optics. So this is your syllabus and these are some books which is recommended for all of you. So today we are going to discuss about interference of light. Now what is light? Light is nothing but an energy. Okay, light we cannot see, but the light, if it incident on an object, then we can see the object. So that is called light. Now light is nothing but, if we can it is an electromagnetic wave. So there are a number of phenomena which can happen by the light. Now today one of the most popular phenomena that we know, that is interference of light. Now what is interference? The definition is given here. The definition is the phenomena in which two or more waves come on each other's way to modify some properties related to the wave motion is known as interference. Means they come on each other's way means actually we are talking about the superposition of two waves. When superposition of two waves happen, then it is called as interference. Now there are some conditions, means suppose any two waves superpose to each other, then suddenly interference occurs. It's not like so, but there are some certain conditions. The conditions are, when two light waves superimpose, then the resultant amplitude amplitude or intensity is written here because, as we know, the relation between amplitude and intensity is that intensity is proportional to the square of the amplitude in the region of the superposition is different than that of the individual wave. Means when they superpose to each other, the amplitude will be changed, and so that's why the intensity from the individual wave will also be changed. So the modification of amplitude or intensity in the region of superposition is called the interference of light. So if suppose the intensity does not change here, then obviously it will not be considered as the interference. Now, the phenomena in which alternate bright and dark fringes are produced as a result of superposition of two monochromatic light waves having same wavelength but a constant phase difference in the same direction is called interference of light. So when the two waves superpose to each other, in that case we'll get some fringes. Fringes means dark fringe, bright fringe. Dark fringe and bright fringe alternately they will be arranged. So this kind of you can say the light waves have same wavelength, that is a condition. Means if two light waves superpose to each other but they don't have same wavelength and the phase difference also vary with time, then we cannot get the bright and dark fringes alternatively, and that's why the intensity phenomena also cannot happen. So that's why the condition is that the two monochromatic lights, they have to be monochromatic light, because if they have multiple wavelengths, then the fringes will not be so clear to see. So if the light waves are monochromatic, that means it has single wavelength, then the fringes can have particular intensity so that it can be visible to everyone. So this is the condition, and it is a general characteristics of the wave motion. Now next is superposition, principle of superposition of waves. This is very popular phenomena because when two or more waves of wavelength, superposition means, first of all, the first term which comes to our mind, that is sum. Okay, so when two or more waves, it's not like that only two waves needs to be there, but two or more waves can also be there. When they propagate through a medium, the resultant displacement of particle of the medium, in case of electromagnetic wave, then it is called actually electric field at a point acted upon by two waves, is algebraic sum. As I previously said, superposition means the first thing should come to our mind, that is the algebraic sum. Okay, algebraic sum of displacements of the same particle due to individual waves in absence of others. That means, suppose we have a particular particle, you can consider a very common particle, electron, quantum particle. Now there are three waves which incident on electron. Now since for each wave the displacement will not be the same, so that's why, suppose for the first wave the amplitude is x1, for the second wave the amplitude is x2, for the third wave the amplitude is x3, then for the three cases the displacements are different, So that's why if we ask that after the superposition of these three waves, what is the resultant wave, then firstly and lastly we have to do the algebraic sum. Means the resultant wave, suppose the displacement ultimate displacement is x, so x can be given as x1 plus x2 plus x3. So we'll get brightness in the pattern, that is constructive interference. Now next is conditions of sustained interference. There are certain conditions. First is, two interfering sources must be coherent. Coherent means the question can be also like what do you mean by coherent source, or what is coherence? Then in that case what you have to answer? You have to answer that the two waves, okay, so when the two waves has the same wavelength, then it is called as coherent source. That is, they must keep a constant phase difference. If the phase difference changes with time, then it cannot be coherent source. Number 2 is, the two interfering sources must emit the light of same wavelength and time period. If the time period varies, like from 2t to 3t, then again 2t, then 4t, then interference will not be so much visible. Next, the amplitudes of or intensities of the interfering waves must be equal or very nearly equal, so that minimum intensity would be 0. Now suppose the amplitudes or intensity are not equal, okay, they have far difference between them, then obviously the interference will not be there. So that's why the amplitudes, there is a condition which is number 3. The third point, the amplitudes must be equal. Number 4, the separation between two coherent sources must be as small as possible, so that the width of the fringes is large and are separately visible. The separation between two coherent sources, if it is very large, and then actually interference will not happen. It cannot be possible to get interference. So the difference or the distance between them has to be equal. The fifth point is, the two sources must be narrow or they must be extremely small. A broad source is equivalent to a large number of fine sources. Each pair of fine sources will give its own pattern. So the fringe of different interference patterns will overlap. So that's why the sources must be narrow. If overlap happens, then obviously the intensity will not be good visible to us. Two more conditions are there. Next is, the distance between the two coherent sources and the screen must be as large as possible, so that the width of fringes is large and are separately visible. The distance of two coherent sources and the screen must be as large. If they are very nearer to each other, then the fringes will overlap to each other, which is not good to see. Last one is, the two interference waves must be propagated along the same direction, so that their vibrations are along a common line. These are the conditions to get sustained interference pattern. Now next is, what is the analytical treatment of interference? The analytical treatment, for that we have to do a derivation. So here first we have considered y1 equal to a sin 2 pi by lambda Vt minus r1. This is the first wave equation. The second wave equation, y2 equal to b sin 2 pi by lambda into Vt minus r2. Now y1 equal to a sin theta. Say theta equal to 2 pi by lambda, means this one, since it's hard to write always this one, that's why we have considered it as theta. So y1 equal to a sin theta Vt minus r1, y2 equal to b sin, this is also theta, Vt minus r1 plus r1 minus r2 is equal to b sin of theta plus phi, where phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into r1 minus r2, means this one. Hence the resultant disturbance y equal to y1 plus y2. Now y1 equal to, by the simplification we already have proved that y equal to a sin theta plus b sin of theta plus phi. Hence it is equal to a sin theta plus b sin theta cos phi plus b cos theta sin phi. Now a plus b cos phi into sin theta plus b of sin phi cos theta. So it is equal to a sin theta plus phi, a sin of theta plus delta they considered. So this is nothing, there is simple mathematics, there is no physics. A sin theta plus b sin theta, sin a plus b sin a cos b cos a sin b. Now here a plus b cos phi, from here we are getting sin theta plus b sin phi cos theta. So sin a cos b cos a sin b, so therefore a sin of theta plus delta. Here a is the amplitude in the disturbance after interference. Now here we have considered a cos phi equal to a plus b cos phi, a plus b cos phi. And a sin phi equal to b sin phi, a sin phi equal to b sin phi. So after interference, now squaring both sides, we can get a square equal to a square plus 2b square plus 2ab cos phi. If I be the intensity of the resultant beam, then I equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. This is very important because using only this equation will derive many things. Okay, so already in the very previous session I already said that the intensity is proportional to the square of the amplitude, so that's why I equal to this. Now the intensity of the resultant beam is maximum. Obviously the maximum will be when cos phi equal to plus 1, and when cos phi equal to minus 1, then it will be minimum. So that's why there are some cases. Condition to get maximum. Maximum means maximum intensity and minimum means minimum intensity. So the condition of maxima, if we put it over here, for cos phi equal to plus 1, then I max will be a square plus b square plus 2ab, which gives us a plus b whole square, which is a plus b whole square. Now phi equal to plus minus 2n pi, therefore n equal to 0, 1, 2 and 3. So phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into r1 minus r2. So the path difference r1 minus r2 equal to lambda by 2 pi into phi. Okay. So phi equal to obviously 2n pi. If we put, then where n are some integers, therefore n becomes n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So if we do this calculation, then finally we are getting plus minus n into lambda. Okay, now I max equal to 4a square. So if a equal to b, now if we go here, then if a equal to b, obviously 2a whole square equal to 4a, because I max, the expression of I max is a plus b whole square. Now if we put phi equal to 2n pi, obviously this going to be 1, therefore we can get it here a plus b whole square. So therefore finally, so the path difference, that is very important, r1 minus r2 is equal to lambda by 2 pi into phi. So lambda by 2 pi, here we are getting plus minus lambda by 2 pi into 2n pi, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So here we are getting finally plus minus n pi. So this is the expression of the intensity maximum when A equal to B. Now there is another case, that is condition for minima. Now if we go here, so here condition of minima means, if we go to the first expression, if we go to the expression here, so the minimum value of cos phi is minus 1. Therefore a square plus b square minus 2ab. Then what we can easily say that I minimum, the expression is a minus b whole square. So a minus b whole square, therefore phi equal to plus minus 2n plus 1 into pi, where n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Now I minimum equal to, since a minus b square, so the corresponding path difference would be phi equal to 2 pi by lambda into r1 minus r2. Now here the path difference is r1 minus r2 equal to lambda by 2 pi into phi, where phi equal to 2n plus 1 into pi. So therefore now here actually we have applied the value expression of phi, 2n plus 1 into pi. Okay, so if we do the calculation, finally we are getting 2n plus 1, pi will be gone, so therefore lambda by 2, where n is known as order number of the fringes. Now from this whole derivation, we can say that when the path difference is pi plus minus n lambda, then maximum intensity we can get, and when the path difference is 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, then minimum condition. Now actually there is a particular name of this, one is constructive interference, one is destructive interference. So this condition for minima is nothing but called as destructive interference, and this when the condition for minima, this condition is nothing but called as constructive interference. So this there can be another question, that what are the differences between constructive and destructive interference, and in that case you also have to answer. Now next is corresponding path difference can be found from the relation. Now there is a figure, as we can see, a very interesting, if we observe it, means here this is, suppose the displacement, and this is the angle, means where phi equal to phase difference, phi equal to 0, pi, pi by 2, and so on. Now along y-axis, if we plot the intensity, then we can get this graph. Now what is this graph actually? At this point we are getting the maximum intensity, whereas at this point we are getting the minimum intensity. Now this maximum intensity is called as actually, here we are getting, because here the path difference is 2n plus 1 into pi, plus minus n lambda. This is the, here since the path difference is plus minus n lambda, that's why we are getting maximum intensity. And here the path difference is r1 minus r2 equal to plus minus 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, that is n lambda, and that is 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. So that is why we are getting here minimum intensity. Thus correspondingly we are getting maximum and minimum intensity. That means here actually constructive interference occurs and here destructive interference occurs. As I said previously that for intensity, for interference, if ideal interference actually happens, then we can get bright fringes and dark fringes. So this is actually bright fringe and this is dark fringe, this is bright, this is dark. So this is about the interference pattern, means if two waves which have a particular amplitude, means the amplitude may be different, but their frequency must be same, means they have to be coherent, and also the wavelength must be same. So and they have to be monochromatic light. So if these conditions satisfy then what happens actually, this kind of interference, means due to the superposition of those waves, due to the superposition of those waves, interference occurs. So this is and due to the interference, due to the ideal interference, we can get these fringes, and these fringes we can observe through the spectrometer very clearly, and different color also can be observed on these fringes. So this is about the whole interference. You must have to derive this expression. Okay, you need to do the practice. If you do the practice, then you can get it easily. So thank you for today. And another thing is, first you have to go through the principle of superposition very well, and also how interference actually works. That is, first that needs to be clear, then only you can understand about the interference more well. So thank you for today, and if you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Interference of waves. The phenomena of the light which undergoes refraction and reflection can be explained by the two theories of light. They are the corpuscular and the wave theory of light. But some of the other phenomena, such as interference and diffraction, can only be explained by the wave theory of light. We know that two or more wave motions travel in space at the same time. Sometimes these two wave motions combine and some physical effects take place. Interference is one such physical effect. When two or more waves cross each other in the same medium, they both interfere and an accident takes place. This accident is known as the interference of waves. Interference is the combined effects of the disturbance caused by each individual wave at the same place at the same time. This effect can be understood from the principle of superposition of waves. Principle of superposition of waves. To understand this concept of the superposition, let's understand some of the examples. When we drop a pin in a tank, we see some circular waves. When another pin is dropped, we see some more waves. These waves travel in the same tank, and at one time or another, they superimpose on each other. The resultant wave would have an amplitude which is the sum of the displacement due to the individual waves. The principle of superposition of waves states that when two or more waves traveling through the same medium simultaneously, the resultant displacement at any point is the vector sum of the displacement due to the individual waves. In our case, the pin is dropped in a ripple tank with two pins. If y1 is the displacement caused at a point due to the first source, and y2 is the displacement caused by the second source, then the overall displacement r at the point of interference would be given by r equals y1 plus y2. When both sources have the same amplitude, then y1 and y2 would be equal to y. When y1 is due the crest or trough, and y2 is also due a crest or trough, the resultant would be the maximum. And when y1 is due to a crest and y2 is due to a trough, or vice versa, the displacement would be minimum. When maximum displacement takes place, it's called constructive superposition, and when minimum displacement takes place, it's called the destructive superposition. In constructive displacement, a maximum displacement curve is produced. Thus, when constructive displacement occurs, the phase difference between the waves would be 0, or a multiple of 2. When minimum displacement occurs, waves superimpose destructively. The phase difference of the waves would be an odd integer multiple. Interference of waves. When superposition of waves occur, they can be destructive or constructive. This physical effort, observed as a result of the superposition of waves, is called interference. The physical effect of the superposition of waves from the source vibrating with the same frequency and amplitude is called the interference of waves. The physical effect is in the form of vibrations in the amplitude of the resultant wave in a given portion of the medium. Interference is a special case of superposition of waves, which originate from different sources but have the same amplitude and same frequency.